trusting the Bucks and not trusting the Nuggets. And a lot of this is about our bias. Our bias is toward the Nuggets in particular. I think with the Bucks, we trust the Bucks because we just saw them do it. And we saw them get close last year, but Middleton got hurt. And then all of the numbers back up so far this season, since Middleton, especially since he's started to round into form, that this team is exactly the team that it was when it won a title basically 2 years ago. It's pretty damn good. But I want to know not why we trust the Bucks, because I think we do know that. Why don't we trust the Nuggets at all?
There's a notion that they've somehow underperformed in the playoffs, which to me is just like batshit. Like winning a series with the team that they had to put on the floor.
Facundo Campazzo.
Right. And it's as simple as that. And it's also like odd players, unusual players, we don't believe they can do it until they do it. Remember, Giannis couldn't do it in the playoffs until he did. And because we haven't seen, even though Jokic has been a spectacular playoff performer to this point in his career, we haven't seen him, aside from kind of a somewhat odd bubble run, hasn't had a lot of deep team success, as much more because of the team he had around him than anything he's done. But because he's an unusual player, he's so bad defensively, a team with that kind of center can never blah, blah, blah. Well, a team whose best player couldn't shoot a jumper could never blah, blah, blah until they did. So I think that there is a little bit of suspicion there, but it was in making the comparison, like the Nuggets were second as of the time I tweeted. The Nuggets were like second in offense, 17th in defense. The Bucks were 17th in offense, like third in defense. So it's like completely opposite profiles. And a lot of the feedback I got, well, since Middleton's back, the Bucks have been great on offense, and that's true. But over the same time period, the Nuggets have been very good on defense. So it's the parallels kind of continue. And it wasn't something to say we should be more skeptical of the Bucks. It was something to wonder why we've spent all year with the Nuggets being like first or second in the West, thinking of which team is actually going to win the West that isn't them.
So I'm going to push back quite a bit. I do just want to jump on. They've not been better defensively as of late. In like the last 10 games. I don't know what the numbers are, but just having watched them, they've been
since All-Star break, they really have fallen.
They've been awful.
They've been bottom 10, I think, since the All-Star break.
There was a run in January where they were defending well, and then that was it. Here's the reason why I trust the Bucks more than I trust the Nuggets, right? Is I've seen their offense and I've seen their defense. I know what it looks like. And I get you with that. And I think Jokic is unfairly, his playoff record is unfairly held against him. When you go look at the teams he had those past 2 years, you're 1,000% correct in that. I still don't buy. I think this team's going to struggle more defensively in the playoffs than before, when teams are going to be able to really diagnose them and sit down in there. I know you even said it in your tweet that, hey, offense tends to struggle more than defense in the playoffs, but teams are going to be going at them and trying to pick apart their defense and put Jokic in bad spots, put Murray in bad spots, go after Michael Porter Jr. and put them in bad spots as much as they possibly can. And they're going to focus on that throughout the playoffs. And for me, I think that's easier than saying hey, well, the Bucks offense is just going to suck. Well, listen, the Bucks offense is, as long as Middleton's healthy, then they have a half-court offense. They have a system that makes sense for them, and they have a nuclear option in Giannis, as you know very well in that instance. And Jokic himself is nuclear on the offensive end, but he's a problem on the defensive end. It's going to be a concern. It's something that he actually has to prove this playoffs about it defensively. And so that's why I look at it. You asked me who's coming out of the West. I got no clue. I might as well just pick a name out of a hat at this point, because it's really going to come down to matchups. This is, I think it's even odds for every team almost.
Honestly, I mean, depending on Paul George and what he looks like when he comes back, which he They're saying he's tracking to be back the week of the playoff start. And, obviously Kevin Durant is the big question mark in Phoenix. And I think if KD's out there, Phoenix is probably a lot of folks' favorite. But then there's also the Warriors who, when their starting lineup plays, they're still really good. And I just can't quit the Warriors. But that's why I can't trust the Nuggets.
You guys
They
are
haven't
proving
separated.
you guys are, but they have a 4-game lead in the conference. Like they've been the best. Like some of it's fine, some of it's health related, but they've been the best team in the conference all season. And I agree with you, Mo, that there are more reasons to be skeptical of the Nuggets than there are of the Bucks. I'm just talking about the degree and the fact that we're starting this discussion from, okay, not this team that has a 1 next to their name. Which of these teams 2 through 10 is it actually going to be? And that's the part that I find that we are collectively patting the Nuggets on the head, saying nice job getting the 1 seed. Now let the real playoff teams decide who's going to win the conference.
But don't we do that with until the team finally wins?
Yeah,
we do that with every.
Is that all it is? Is that all it is, though, Mo? Like, is it just we are never going to trust any team to actually win until they do it, and then retroactively we extend that trust? Oh, we should have seen it coming.
Let me ask you a question: how many of you guys have trusted the Clippers over the last few years?
No,
right?
Like
that's
at all.
The point, right? Like something always goes wrong with them.
They play like strangers.
None of us trust the Kings. None of us, we're in that sense, this is going to be their first playoff run in 16 years,
and they might be the 2 seed.
And
so the funny thing is, there was a meme on Milwaukee Twitter: never trust the Bucks up until like 20,
right? Until they win it, and it's the same thing with Toronto till they won it. It's every team is going. This is almost the rite of passage of you have to go through it that way. And it sucks in that sense, and you have to defy the doubters. And even if you're the 1 seed, Seth, it doesn't matter that they have a 3.5 game lead on the 1 seed. Because you know what I'm going to say to you about the Western Conference? It's been batshit crazy the entire year. Every time you look at the fact that New Orleans was a 2 seed at one point and looked like they were going to threaten for the 1 seed early in the season, and that shit fell apart. It's been an incredible weird year for the conference in itself, and there's been so many question marks, and to hurt the Nuggets really even more, this run where this rut that they've hit in March doesn't help. It creates more doubt than anything else. It'll be phenomenal because you guys are going to listen to this on Friday, and then we have 2 great Nuggets games coming up Saturday and Monday. I think that's going to be really kind of a defining moment there, Seth. They sweep that. People are going to be looking around going like, all right, well, hey, man, the Bucks got to be the favorite. And then, they lose both of those. Everybody's going to be like, see, I told you, don't trust them. Never the Nuggets is going to be the next meme that's Seth until they win it. And I think that's the thing. I mean, to me, I have a lot of doubts with them. But it's because I still see the problems now that I saw before. So that's really my issues with them. Can they go to the finals? Absolutely. Because, again, the West. Batshit crazy. Anything's going to happen this year in the conference. Like, I don't know what's going to happen.